Hello and welcome to another session with Ready to Ride, and today I have put on for you a slightly more advanced session. We're going to be working on some lateral abdominal core strength, so working you through your oblique abdominals particularly, and also some slightly more advanced hip strengthening exercises as well. This is a much more advanced session, so make sure not only have you done a warm-up before you do this, but don't do these exercises if you are relatively new to Pilates or are a little bit rusty or carrying any injuries or anything like that. This session is going to be particularly good for people who are doing a lot of jumping or any higher level dressage training because of the intensity and the nature of these exercises. They are all based on a mat, unfortunately, but there's no kit needed, so you just need a mat and something to rest your head on for the first exercise only. So let's get started. We're going to start off with the level 3 clam exercise. So for that one you need to have your bottom leg straight. Have your head resting onto your headrest, and then with your top leg, rest your foot in behind your bottom knee. Check your mouse hole is open and your pelvic floor is onto floor 3. And then to find your starting position for your knee, have your top headlight pointing straight ahead and let that knee just flop to wherever it feels comfortable. Don't roll forwards, because then you will roll forwards through your headlight. Let it just rest where it feels comfortable. So for me, that's a couple of inches off the floor. So mouse hole, pelvic floor, top hand to the top headlight, and then we're starting off nice and easy, just doing the level 3 part of the clam. But once your body's used to it, we're going to add in the extension part. So you open and then you straighten, bend and close. You open, straighten, bend and close. And as you're doing this, you're still keeping your mouse hole open, your pelvic floor onto floor 3, and that top headlight staying straight ahead. So this is a really good exercise for combining abdominal control and hip stability. If you find you're getting a bit wobbly, just go back to doing your basic level 3 clam. Don't try and keep forcing it on. But like I said at the start, always make sure that you only ever go down into the end of the clam position as far as that top headlight allows you to go without rolling forwards. If you're rolling forwards, you're rolling through your pelvis. Okay, so that's probably enough of that one. We're going to move on to one of the side kick exercises, but we're doing a slight variation of this one. It's a slightly harder one. You need to be into your capital L position, so straight line from shoulders, hips to knees. Top hand resting onto your top headlight again, but this time you're going to lift your pelvis off the mat. Pelvic floor onto floor 3, then float to the top leg, and then you're bringing the knee up around towards your hip and pelvis area. Try to keep that hip and knee and foot fairly level as you do the movement. Keep that top headlight really still. So you're really working, this is kind of ultimate hip control really, and ultimate abdominal control at the same time. Keep the pelvic floor onto floor 3 as best as you can. Might be quite hard if you're concentrating on keeping all the key components of this exercise going all in one go, but the pelvic floor is a fairly key component in itself. Okay, I'm going to bring that leg down, and now I'm going to come up into a sort of half sitting position, push my headrest out of the way. I'm on a bit of a slope here, so hopefully I'm not going to wobble over as I do this. We're going to do some advanced version of your side bend. This is a really good exercise, again, for coordinating lower body, upper body and abdominal control all in one go. You need for your start up for your top foot to be resting in front of your bottom foot. You can see that my bottom knee is pointing forwards, top knee pointing up, my top arm is resting loosely onto my top knee. Your bottom hand needs to be quite a little way out away from you, because you're going to be pushing out onto that in a second. The key with this is that it's all in your brain getting used to the movement. It's about muscle memory. Once you've got the hang of it, you'll find it really easy. To begin with, you'll think, never going to do this. You'll be fine once you get going, so persevere. Pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then you're going to push over and come back down. So you're going to push onto that hand and come back down. So that's why that hand needs to be out away from you, so you've got somewhere to go. If it's too close into you, you've got nowhere to go and you find yourself toppling over. You are aiming to get your legs straight if you possibly can and not wobble forwards. Keep that pelvic floor going. So this is a brilliant coordination exercise. Perfect for anyone who's trying to think about doing some complicated dressage movement where you've got to be having both arms and both legs doing something completely different the whole time. A couple more of this one. Okay, So I'm now going to turn over onto my other side, and we'll start all of those on the other side. So we can start off with the clam level 3, straight bottom leg, top leg with my foot tucked in behind my bottom knee, mouse hold open, pelvic floor onto floor 3, top hand onto my headlight, and once again finding where that low position for my knee is with my top headlight pointing straight ahead. So this side I'm a little bit more flexible through my iliotibial band and my tensor fasciae lata, so I can go a little bit lower but not quite down to the ground. So mouse hold on pelvic floor into that lift, looking for good control and balance, a bit of a wobble there. Always a tricky one to do when you've just been working hard already. And then we're going to add in the extension, so open, straighten, bend and close, still keeping my balance as best as I can with the mouse hole open, the pelvic floor onto floor 3. It's important with this exercise to make sure that you get the breakdown of all the different components, and you try and get the foot tucking into the back of your knee before you close your clam. I think it's really important if you think about applying your leg aids when you're on the horse. There's no point in half applying the aid. You want to do it fully, you want to do it correctly, you want your foot or whatever it is that you're moving to be going exactly where you want it to do it. It's exactly the same with this exercise. It might be hard, but you want to get it, all parts of it, really accurate. Okay, so I'm now going to prop up onto my capital L position, get myself sorted, shoulders, hips, knees, pelvic floor onto floor 3, and then I'm going to lift my pelvis, and now I'm going to go into my side kick. So once again, trying to keep my hip, knee and foot as level as possible, keeping the pelvic floor going, keeping that movement smooth and flowing. Trying to keep my headlight really still, so my pelvis is really solid and still, but it's just my hip that's doing the moving. This is such a great hip control exercise. Pretty hard work too. You'll be telling I'm a little bit puffed doing this, but it's not a bad thing at all. You want to get your heart rate up, you want to get your breathing up a little bit doing these, because that's the same as what's going to happen when you're working hard over fences or when you're on the flat as well. Okay, so come back down with that one, and we will finish off with your seated sort of side bend exercise. So once again, top foot is in front of the bottom foot, bottom knee pointing forwards, top knee pointing to the sky, top hand lightly resting onto the top knee. Bottom hand as far away from you as you feel comfortable to do. Then it's pelvic floor at the ready, and then you're going to push over and slowly back down. So it's pelvic floor, push over and slowly back down. So you're looking for that nice, smooth, controlled movement. Then you're coordinating legs pushing and arm lifting. Nicely coordinated, just like you would if you're on the horse. You don't want to be thinking, I've got to do one thing then the other. You want everything that you need to work all in one go. Don't get a little wobble there. Starting to get a little bit tired. We'll do a couple more of this one. Keep the pelvic floor going if you can. Lovely. Okay, so we'll call it a day there for that little session. I suggest you go and do a quick warm down if you need to. I certainly wouldn't finish on that and go straight off to do computer work. Hopefully you found that useful. There'll be lots of other sessions along this line coming up very soon. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the Ready to Ride channel, and also have a look at the Ready to Ride blog, which has lots of information supporting all these exercises. And hope to see you again very soon.